Alright, ladies and gentlemen, how you guys doing on this Tuesday, February 7th, 2022? Thank you for joining me here tonight for another metallic episode of Music of Destruction, bringing you the very best in metal-related content right here on YouTube on the only metal channel you need. If you missed anything in the past week, click the eye in the upper right corner, bring down the menu. Everything you need there to get caught up is in that menu on all the latest videos. I'd appreciate it. If you want me to review anything, make suggestions in the comment section below. I will be doing a subscriber request this week for album ranking Wednesdays. No slam, deathcore, metalcore, or modern tech death. Remember, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss anything. This is the hardest working metal channel on the platform and the only one you need. Welcome to Album Review Tuesdays here on the channel, and tonight we're going deep into the underground once again for a look at one of my favorite USBM bands with Draugar-Weathering The Curse. Now, Weathering the Curse was released in 2004 on Moribund Records, and his previous work, From Which Hatred Grows, was released in 2003 on Twilight Records. Now, Draugar consists of one member who goes by Hildolf, and he has released 5 albums under the Draugar moniker, 3 demos, and 2 full lengths. Now, he was also a member of the USBM supergroup Twilight for their 2005 self-titled album, which you can check out the review of. I do own that album as well. Absolutely brilliant stuff there, where he performed vocals. Now, very little is known about this entity within the USBM underground, but one thing is for certain, that he knew his craft and what he wanted to do, and I really look forward to him possibly putting out some more stuff in the future. I think that would be absolutely amazing, because what he's done with his 2 full lengths and 3 demos is nothing short of pure fucking obliteration, okay? It's black, cold, and hateful. Now, Draugar is extremely raw, dark, hateful art with an emphasis on solitude, suicide, and absurdity of existence, and the chilling sounds of his releases reflect those ideas and emotions extremely effectively, okay? Alright, so let's get into the review. The album opens up with Warrior Without War, and immediately within seconds, guys, we are assaulted by a barrage of ice-cold, dissonant, hypnotic riffs and mesmerizing cold keyboard work that adds to this horrific and cold desolation that emits from your speakers. And if you don't like raw black metal, then this is not going to be for you guys at all, okay? The vocals are very strained and tortured, that the shrieks and rasps of agony are powerful beyond measure, that could peel paint off the fucking walls. That's how shrill they are. So, I mean, this is going to take some getting used to for some of you people, which is fine. The despair continues on for 7 minutes of some of the darkest and emotional black metal in the USBM underground, and his devotion to the true spirit and identity of the genre is fully intact and on display. No compromises on the harsh, abrasive production. This is a very haunting, torturous track that does its intended job well. Great atmosphere. Next up is the 12-minute descent straight into black oblivion with I Come As a Curse. And this is a depressing, suicidal journey into Hildolf's disgust and utter contempt for the human race in existence. All things resembling light and hope have been obliterated here. This is lifeless, solitary bleakness in its ugliest and most beautiful forms coming through here. And the riffing is hypnotic to the point where it puts you into an ice-cold trance of despondency and misanthropic solitary bliss and suicidal fascination. This is a very captivating experience, as I find it both very grim but very serene at the same time. And I think it takes a pretty strong person to be able to really embrace and appreciate black metal of this caliber and its potency, because this sure as hell isn't party music or party metal, okay? This is pure black oblivion, and it's so good at taking you away from this world and making you feel at peace with isolation, and I love it to death. One of my favorite tracks on the album for sure. Next up, we have Infernal Existence, Grey Horizons, and this is my favorite on the album. 7 minutes of chilling misery and darkness that slices away at your flesh with its acidic vocals, shrill, despondent, hypnotic guitar work, and dark ambient keyboard melodies that ebb themselves deep into your psyche as Hildolf continues to pull you deeper into the tortured corridors of his mind, on the blade of the knives driving itself deep into the puncturing vessel of your existence, into nihilistic voids of agony and despair. This is such a powerful exercise of misanthropic conviction and pain that it envelops you entirely, as it pulls you into a cold trance where you can easily get lost inside the music, and it's absolutely amazing. So guys, let's check out Infernal Existence, Grey Horizons here on Music of Destruction. Enjoy. And guys, we are back, and yeah, this is an absolute masterpiece of misanthropic despair. I love it to death. Next up is Wage a Final Battle, and this track sounds like a man who's waged his final battle with existence after being constantly beat down and fed up with life itself and all of its pain and darkness, as he tries to continuously pull himself out of the hole that's trying to destroy him and his sanity. The suffocating depression and psychosis that often accompanies these emotions can become so overwhelming that psychotic apathy can actually be a relief that takes over to give the mind and body some much needed respite from the suffering. That's exactly what's on full display here, and he's just barely existing by this point and doesn't care whether he lives or dies, or maybe mentally and emotionally he's already dead, and the music is his only connection to sanity and this mortal coil. This is a sick track as well. Next up, we have Trails of Blood That Lead to Dark Corners. And well, if the song title doesn't say it all, then the music here certainly does. Pure, sorrowful chaos spewed into one gigantic, chaotic whirlwind of rage-fueled hatred for all humanity and himself, with a strong emphasis on suicidal ideation and fixation. Some of the album's darkest keyboard work is on this track as well, with the clean, somber guitar moments that really stick inside of your mind. This is basically like an unfolding void of blackness and hatred, constantly echoing throughout the album's entire duration, with all the songs being very similar but maintaining a strong consistency that create a really black, desolate atmosphere that really drive it home. This is bleak soundscapes of sorrow, solitude, and misanthropy, which is exactly what I look for in my black metal killer track here as well. Next up is Tenfold Tortured Old Soul. And here's another 8 minutes of disturbing, bone-chilling black metal that becomes so shrill and cold by this point that if you're not a seasoned black metal freak, you'll likely turn the album off, because this is 60 minutes of pure auditory hell, I mean the album, not the track, and ugliness, as it's very hard to stomach, as its nauseating sorrow and abrasive raw hatred really captivate you by this point, with no regard for your pathetic taste in metal or easier listening. No, this is going to test the very fabric of your soul and what you can handle. When it comes to this genre, the whole goal is expressing the blackest emotions possible in the ugliest way, right down to the production and minimal guitar work and drum work, keyboards, and of course the vocals. Now, the music has never been about pleasing anyone, and that's what I love about this. Next up is Laughing and Bleeding, and this is a maniacal attack of psychotic despair where the pain has become too much. No more waiting, no more attempts. This is frenzy, okay? Either on himself and or on everywhere. No more barriers to cross as he comes to terms with his state of existence and obviously cannot tell if he's even alive anymore. The riffing and drum work along with the keyboards and vocals are as insane as is his state of mind during this track, and it sounds as demented and psychotic as its namesake. By this point, someone of a weaker mindset might become so overwhelmed by the sheer venom of this track and album that they either turn it off or become so disturbed that they can't handle it anymore. This is intense, and the only real choice is to either make music or die. And that's what I find really compelling about black metal, is that this is about being as honest and real as possible, and this is very ugly stuff, and I love it to death. Closing out the album is Through the Dark Until You Die, and this is a powerful climax to the album as it descends into the ethereal realm where you finally crossed over and have become free from the chains of this tortured existence and life itself. Death has not only become the final event, but longed for. The obsession with black emotional expression is once again on full display here, shredding the listener of all hope and light and joy, only to be replaced with absolute misery and disgust, with veins filled with ice and desolation. The instrumentation creates such a distant, cold atmosphere of pain and despondency, where everything you know is simply obliterated as fragments of lost memories and forgotten emotions and experiences echo and ebb their way into your soul. This is an amazing closer, and again, this is not going to be for everyone who's even into metal, because this is raw, stripped back black metal that has no regard for your sensibilities or tastes. The final verdict for Draugar's Weathering the Curse is getting a 9 out of 10. It's almost perfect to me, and definitely an album you should own if this is your style of black metal. Alright, so there you have it, another album review in the books here on Music of Destruction. I hope you enjoyed the premiere. If you're new, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, hit all for all notifications. teespring.com/music-of-destruction for merch there. Also bonfire.com/store/music-of-destruction. Put up some new designs, going to be putting up some more in the coming weeks, always evolving with the merch there. If you want to help out on Patreon, the Seed episode 35, The History of Cryptopsy, is up there right now. Patreon.com/music of destruction. $5 a month gets you access. Going to be working on a new podcast. Need some ideas. I'm probably going to come up with some good ideas for another podcast. I got something in mind. Big surprise for you guys. Your support keeps this channel going. Thank you very much, and I appreciate it. Have an awesome night. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video. We'll see you for Album Ranking Wednesdays. Cheers. Have a great night.